With just a blender and a couple minutes, you can whip up this tasty, healthy, and gentle snack or small meal. This banana nut smoothie is my current favorite smoothie in my rotation, and I hope you can add it to yours. The method is easy. In no particular order, add to a blender 1 cup of milk, a generous handful of frozen banana slices, 1 to 2 tablespoons of tahini or nut butter, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Blend, pour, and serve. If you've never made a smoothie before, however, here are some more detailed instructions about the ingredients, equipment, and method. This smoothie has 4 ingredients: milk, banana, tahini, and cinnamon. For equipment, you'll need a blender, a glass, and if you're using whole banana, you'll need a small cutting board and knife. You'll also need measuring spoons, but I usually just eyeball everything. If you don't have measuring spoons, just use a regular spoon for the tahini. That's what I did. For the milk, 1 cup by the way, I usually use cow's milk, but I'm using coconut milk here, and you can use any milk you'd like. Oat milk would probably be delicious. For the banana, I'm using half a banana that I froze myself, and as you can see, it takes a minute or so to get it out of the skin and cut it. But you can often buy pre-cut frozen bananas at the grocery store, which is much easier to work with. If you go the pre-frozen route, you'll want a large handful of frozen banana slices. Then you need to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of a nut or seed butter. I'm using tahini, which is made from sesame seeds, but you can use peanut butter, almond butter, or any nut or seed butter that you have on hand. This will add some healthy fat and protein and will make the smoothie less like a drink and more like a meal. Speaking of protein, you can also add a scoop of protein powder if you'd like. But don't ask me for advice on protein powder because I never use the stuff, so I know nothing about it. And last, I like a healthy dash of cinnamon. If you don't have cinnamon or don't like cinnamon, just leave it out. Or you could try a different warming spice like nutmeg or cloves. Then pop the lid on your blender and blend it on high for 1 minute. You might need to do what is called pulsing with the blender, which is turning it on and off 1 second at a time. This prevents big chunks of banana from settling to the bottom. If you don't have a blender, you can usually buy them at your local thrift store for pretty cheap. Then pour your smoothie into a glass. And I realized at this point that my smoothie was thicker than I liked and that I had more room in my glass, so I just added more milk and stirred it in. It's okay, you can do that. What I like to do immediately after I make a smoothie is put my blender in the sink and fill it with water. This will make it much easier to wash later. Depending on what kind of milk you use and how much tahini you put in it, this smoothie is around 300 calories and makes a nice snack or small meal. You can also easily double the recipe if you're hungrier or if you're making smoothies for 2. So that was my current favorite smoothie. I hope you find time to make it, drink it, and put your feet up. If you want more easy recipes like this, check out the rest of my easy, gentle cooking playlist. Thank you to my patrons for helping me produce this series, with a special thanks to Chrissy, Britt, Honey Badgers, Megan M, Matthew, Jenny D, Robert Z, Mercedes, Jocelyn, Manila, Gina, Megan, and Data Fox. Check the video description for a written recipe. Bye!